you can always tell ChatGPT to write up an email, but you can't have ChatGPT actually send the email. Or you could ask it for booking ideas for a vacation, but you can't have it actually book the vacation for you on like TripAdvisor or whatever. So that action portion is the key part about AI agents that really sets it apart. And even AI agents interacting together is another topic that we can definitely get into later in podcasts. So. Hi, my name is Demetri Panici, and I'm a content creator, agency owner, and AI enthusiast. You're listening to the AI Agents podcast, brought to you by Jotform, and featuring our very own CEO and founder, Aytekin. This is the show where artificial intelligence meets innovation, productivity, and the tools shaping the future of work. Enjoy the show. Hi there, my name's Demetri.
Hey, I'm Aytekin.
And this is the AI Agents podcast. This is a place where we're going to discuss AI agents, and much more. How are you doing today, Aytekin?
Hey, Demetri, I'm doing great. I'm really excited for the first episode. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. I'm ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah, so just a little bit of background on the podcast. We've been discussing this for a little bit while. This is a podcast brought to you by Jotform, and we're going to be discussing, as I said, AI agents and everything in that realm. There's a lot of good opportunities for people to learn about these products and have them impact their businesses and lives. So we wanted to bring this topic to the forefront. So we're going to be brought to you on YouTube, podcast platforms, and there will be short clips of this all across social media. So we're really excited to discuss these topics with myself and Aytekin, as well as different founders and creators of AI applications and AI agents.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Yeah, how did we come up with this, the idea for the podcast? Let me talk a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm.
I've been developing this new software called AI Agents, Jotform AI Agents, for the last year. And because of that, I've been really interested in what's going on with AI agents, constantly reading about it, watching everything I can find. And I gained so much experience with it. And also while developing the product, I learned so much from it, creating this product, building this product with better users. So I've been thinking about how can I share all these things that are happening with AI agents. How can we kind of share this excitement with people? Because it's going to be big. It's getting bigger. The AI agents are going to be big. So just how to kind of have a platform where we can actually share all the things that are coming out and all the exciting stuff that we see. So you and I, we did I was in your podcast a while
Mm-hmm.
ago.
Yep.
My book, Automate Your Busy Work. I was talking about that book with you and about Jotform, and that's how we met. Because
Mm-hmm.
I was in your podcast, and then later on we stayed connected. You did some projects for us, video projects for Jotform, and and when I was thinking about should we do a podcast about AI agents? The first person that came to my mind was about you, and you were also so excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we started. That's the origin story. Yeah.
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 I love AI. I mean, AI is specifically AI agents. I think it's a great topic because it's not only is it, popular right now, AI agents are, I think, the future, because as we're going to talk about with the product itself, nobody really likes interacting with, how do I say this? AI is awesome, but it's almost a little bit like active in a way and passive, without, getting too much into the specifics of how Jotform's gonna fix that. You just always have to deal with, a large language model where you're actively typing things out, but you are still doing the work to a large extent. You are still kind of the one driving it to a large extent. And I just think AI agents are this unique, next level up in AI, where it's going to help you take your ideas and then have somebody else put it into action, or something else. They're not quite people yet, I guess.
Yeah. If you think about it, people are now getting used to using these chat screens like
Yeah.
ChatGPT. But like they can ask questions, they can get answers, but they don't really do anything with that. Like
No.
they don't have this a way to kind of automate the work they do with AI, like just turn that into like workflows, things like that. And the AI agents are kind of solves that. Like it gives kind of AI an ability to take actions, do things on our behalf, and basically get things done, get this done for us, get things done
Yeah, I
for
mean,
us.
there a good example just to kind of clarify terms for everybody before we dive more into where you got the idea of Jotform AI is you can always tell ChatGPT to write up an email, but you can't have ChatGPT actually send the email. Or you could ask it for booking ideas for a vacation, but you can't have it actually book the vacation for you on like TripAdvisor or whatever. So that action portion is the key part about AI agents that really sets it apart. And even AI agents interacting together is another topic that we can definitely get into later in podcasts. So I think it's probably a good turning point to discuss kind of what inspired you to develop Jotform AI agents specifically, and what challenges are you hoping to address with that?
Yeah. So it wasn't actually the first idea. So
Hmm.
I think it's just like 2 years ago when I had my third child. So I was away a little bit, and like I being away from the busy work at Jotform kind of allowed me to think about like what's happening, all this AI stuff coming out, like how can we use it within our product? And
Yeah.
I was really excited about that. And and when I get back to work, like a year and a half ago, that I actually like took three of our engineers who have been doing like AI
Yeah.
for a long time, because at Jotform, like we have this problem with like phishing, spam. Like we have been doing lots of AI, lots of machine learning projects in the past. So we already had like some experienced people at the company. So like we just started working on this like this idea. The first idea
Sure.
was like, how can we help people like create forms with AI? Basically, we
Mm.
called it the form builder copilot that just create forms with the help of AI. And it was actually going well. And we discovered that like we can actually build a great product because people are okay with talking to AI. Like they are
Yeah.
okay with giving AI instructions, like just on a chat screen. When I saw that, like, so the way we develop products is like we will actually give it to people, like just because we want to get feedback from people. So we will just open it to like first like 200 users, then maybe to 1% of our users. And in this case, like we did that, and we saw that like people were using this product a lot, and they were getting like so much value, and they were okay with giving instructions to the AI. And like just like when we were actually looking at this a lot, like it just clicked on me that
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, this is good. Like this, we can help a lot of Jotform users with this. Like we have 25 million Jotform users, and we are
Wow.
hosting like
Mm-hmm.
so many millions of forms from them. But if you think about it, like just helping Jotform users is good, but helping their users is even better. Like if we could
Of
give
course.
this power to Jotform users as opposed to like just giving them some products to help them with building forms. So we decided, okay, this idea is so exciting, and we should just give, we should just pivot, like just start building on this new project. And we are still done that building that project. We still have that users continue using, but we decided, okay, let's just put our focus on this new project, AI agents. And basically, the idea is that what if instead of filling out a form, you could actually talk to the form, like you could actually talk to a chatbot and
Yeah.
AI agents, and just fill out the form by talking to it. But I mean, if you think about it, that's not that powerful. That's actually very powerful, especially if you think about it. Like you could actually do that on the phone. Like you cannot fill out like a digital form or a paper form. while you're on the phone. But if you are like talking to an AI agent on the phone over voice, you can actually fill out the
Sure.
form. So that's like a new capability. But what we discovered was like, this is great, but the value we can provide is even greater if we can actually give people like all these features, like allow them to train their AI agents with knowledge,
Mm,
or allow them to like give these AI agents actions, and
yes.
just like do things as they want. And like when we built this product, and when we started getting better users, we saw that people are actually like, they are really interested in like instructing this AI agents to do
Yeah.
things the way they want it. And like we started that, actually, like we were actually planning to release the product by now, like but we saw that like people actually needed like so much more, and that's why we decided to like just launch it in February 2025. So we still have some time before the launch, and but we have lots of beta users, and then we are learning so much from them. And yeah, I mean, I can actually like show you the demo. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be great. I did want to ask one question and just
Sure.
kind of like tap in on one part that you mentioned there. So when looking at this AI agent concept, I think something important to note is obviously the actions, but you honed in on something important there, and I do think you'll maybe dive into it more in the actual demo, which you'll be able to see on the video version of this podcast at the AI Agents Podcast YouTube channel. I have a question about the knowledge portion, because I do think this is something that's key. So this is the case with like ChatGPT or any other large language models. I'm sure you're familiar with the fact that you can create GPTs with
Hmm.
the knowledge bases that you can add to it, and you can
Yeah.
add like custom instructions. What do you think the importance is of getting down to specifics for use cases and for the actions that are going to be taken when it comes to the knowledge base? Like, one, how are you able to do that in the product with Jotform? And two, or maybe even the other way around. One, why is it important? And two, how are we going to be able to do it in the product? Because I have found the more knowledge you can give it, I know GPT-4 basic, or I guess GPT-4o, it does something called RAG, which it's essentially grabbing contextual text in order to give it improved responses after you put in the prompt. So I'm very curious how this works for Jotform, and if you can speak more to the importance of the knowledge base portion, because most people just think, type it into this bot and every bot's going to be good for every action, which isn't the case.
Yeah, I mean, so it's the same way at
Okay.
Agile from AI agents as well, because basically you can enter your knowledge base. You can like upload a file, or enter text, enter Q&A, and like just provide instructions there. Um, but I think what's different between a custom GPT
Mm-hmm.
uh, would be like the personality and the visual features of Jotform AI agents.
Ooh, okay.
Like you have these avatars. I'm just gonna show you in a minute.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
people are so excited about that. Like just having this personality, like designing your own personality, and also better users are actually putting their own pictures there as well. Like just you could even put your own picture, but have that personality, and then like um joining that with the knowledge makes it much more stronger. And it's kind of like, because we are coming in this forms world, and forms are kind of boring, and like when you look at the form you get bored, right? We didn't want to make this like bare like just a chat interface. We wanted to have the AI agents come alive, like have their personality, even when they're talking, have a different kind of personality, give people the option to have different personalities, but also
Sure.
visually give them all these options. And in terms of the knowledge base, we also use the RAG RAG technology. So because when we first started, like we could just thought that we could like just take these like knowledge bases and like just give them with the prompt to the foundation models that we use. And what we found was like it's just like people are like they are uploading lots of documentation. You can also like give your website, like they are giving their whole websites, like lots of documentation, lots of data. Like there's just like big knowledge base. And basically when you
Mm-hmm.
try to kind of include that within the prompt, it at some point it breaks down.
Mm-hmm.
So the RAG was a solution for us, and it just made our product so much better. So one of the ways actually we use Jotform AI agents within Jotform is we provide support to Jotform users using Jotform AI agents, and we only do that in a very small percentage because we
Sure.
don't want to just like just it. This is still an experimental product. Like we don't want to risk any cause any problems. But like when we started like adding all this knowledge base about Jotform, and Jotform has like so many features, like thousands of features, it just started
Sure.
breaking down. And then as soon as we implemented the RAG solution, like we could just upload like so much documentation, and it was getting better and better. So the same solution also worked for us. And within our beta users, we are actually seeing so many people are actually what they are doing is they are basically using this as a chatbot for their websites. Some of them has like
Oh,
e-commerce
okay.
websites, or they have all kinds of websites, and basically they are like putting all these knowledge base, and then the chatbot is like providing guidance to people when they are like visiting their websites. And what's great about it is like it's not just a regular chatbot. It can also like when people need to, it can also fill out forms if they need to give an order, if they need to register for something, if they need to like like contact form or just send information directly. Jotform AI agents can also do that. So that's actually what makes Jotform AI agents so much powerful.
Really cool. I think that just to let the people know probably what RAG even means, and then we'll dive into the product itself. RAG is actually stands for, it's an acronym that stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. What it essentially does is you'll start off with like data that exists after you upload it to the knowledge base. And when you type in your prompt, what it's going to do is it's going to search for and through your database of knowledge that you've uploaded for semantically contextual bits and pieces of text information. And then it will take that and add it to the context of essentially what's combined with your prompt. So previously what people would do is they type a really long prompt. They'd be like, you are XYZ type of bot. You will be able to do this, this, and this thing. The standards for creating a text social post is follow this format. That's what people would do. Now, all you need to do is make like SOPs, or in the case like you're saying with the websites, right? If you just give website links and there's FAQs on there, if somebody asks something of the product in the Jotform AI agent in this context, they would get answers about the different things of their, like you said, e-commerce store. Say you're selling a lawnmower or something to that effect, and you want to know like the features or the specifications of the lawnmower. With the RAG technology, as you could obviously see, all you need to do is literally type, what's the specifications for this lawnmower? And then it will respond with it because it has the context of the PDFs that you've uploaded. Whereas usually AI just by default is just going to have its base knowledge information. It's trained on a lot of like large language model information, but it's not specific. So this is what makes it more specific. So I figured that was good clarification before we dived into it.
Yeah, it sounds great.
All right, let's talk about the product itself. I'm excited for Aytekin's going to show it on the screen. So I'll do my best to give commentary, and we'll do our best to make it usable for audio listeners, but you can see the screen recording on the Jotform YouTube channel.
So this is the page. Like this is I mean, at this point, it's only available for beta users, but we like to just prepare our, just like how Amazon does, like they have this process that when they are building a product, when they decide to build a product, they are gonna write this press release, and
Okay. Yeah.
and if they don't like the press release, if the press release doesn't excite them, they're not gonna build the product. So the same way at Jotform, when we are building a new product or a feature, we are gonna just like in the beginning, even before we have the product, like we actually create a landing page, just keep it, within the company, like, only the beta users can actually see this, right? But you can actually get into the wait list, and we are gonna share a link in the podcast comments, like the details section, that you can
Hmm.
actually get into the wait list, and maybe be included in the beta as well. Um, so that's why we have this page, and basically it's just showing a little, like, just preview of Jotform AI agents. But as you can see, it's not just a regular chatbot. It has some personality. It has like different kinds of personalities, and we are even building a like directory of kind of agent templates, like just
Okay.
different
Cool.
kind of agents, like examples. Like you could just pick an agent, and you can just use this agent uh, yourself. Start with something, or if you want to, you know, if you want to start from scratch, that's also fine. But as you can see, agents have the power to actually also fill out forms. Right? It's not just like they're not just answering questions, but they can also fill out forms. So
Gotcha.
let's just create an agent from scratch. Let's go back to our start the our landing page. Let's get started. Um, So, as we can see here, we can create an agent from scratch, or like we can just turn a form into an agent, which is really useful if you're existing Jotform users and you already have existing forms, like you just want to turn them into an agent. That's really useful. Or you can just, as we've seen previously, you can just just turn start with examples. Let's start from scratch. And I've been thinking about like what kind of example we could do. Uh, w- just like maybe we can just have a review, like kind of like a feedback AI agent for our podcast.
Sure. Yeah.
We just started um, a new podcast about AI agents, and we would like to get feedback from our listeners. So, yeah, I mean, that's the idea for the agents. And this is
Hmm.
why we are going to use this agent. Let's go ahead and create this agent. So, when you're creating an agent, basically what it's doing is like, it's actually going to create a form. You don't have to have a form always, but like it's just going to create a form because we are Jotform, right? We love form, and then it's going to add all these form fields into it, and it's actually going to come up with some intelligence, some knowledge for that. Like you can edit that knowledge, but it will start with something. And so here we are. Like we have this AI agent builder,
Hmm.
and this is the AI agent builder. You can actually see preview. You can actually design the AI agent, train it, and publish it. So when you're designing your AI agent, you could basically like find an avatar that fits well with your case. I mean, we don't want to have it too seriously. This is a podcast. This is not like too serious. Like maybe we can have something like this. Like this is podcast.
Yeah, this is it's like a fox. It's like a AI
Yeah, it's
generated fox
Fox.
holding a microphone with headphones.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, so like we can change the design as we wish. Pick one of these styles. Like we can customize our AI agents. This is like one of the core, core like differentiators for Jotform is you can actually like we have like so much customization options at Jotform. And so yeah, this looks great. So and we can even like generate different avatars, but I will just do that at different time. So the next task is like, okay, we have this AI agents. Um, should we train this AI agent to kind of be more like the way we want it to work? And yeah,
The persona of
we
it.
can give it a name, like a role. Maybe podcast assistant is a better agent role. And do you want to give it a name? Like, do you have an idea?
Yeah.
Foxy,
Podcast Pete.
Pete, podcast
Yeah.
Pete. I love
Yeah.
it. And like you can define like how chatty you want it to be. Like, in general, like I found that like just people actually prefer the chatbots to just especially if you are getting like if the goal is to like get feedback from people, just maybe it shouldn't talk too much. It should just ask questions
Direct's
quickly.
probably better. Yeah.
Sometimes like if you have this support agent, then maybe you want it to be speak more, have more, provide more details. So you can also add instructions here, like what kind of you know how you want the AI agents to talk or act. Here, you can actually, like use different languages here to kind of allow it to speak different languages by default. And you can have a different tone of voice. Maybe let's make it energetic. And yeah, so this is like the persona. So on the knowledge base, you can give it knowledge. Maybe let's describe our podcast is about AI agents. And, we talk about the feature of AI, feature of AI agents. And I mean, one of the things people do is like they will create this AI agent, and then they will actually watch how people converse, like what
Yeah.
kind of conversations are there, and then from there, like they come back here and add all the all the knowledge, like questions and answers, things like that here. So we can actually give it actions, right? That's one thing we discovered was like people want to give instructions to the AI agents. For example, if the user sentiment is excited, right? Excited, just maybe talk about like please give us please vote for us, right? Vote for us on Apple, right? We are going to publish on Apple as well. Please, review us.
Yep.
Review us on Apple Podcast.
Yep.
Yeah, podcast. And yeah, so we actually gave it its actions, right? This is also like very kind of incremental, right? People are like just role playing with the AI and chatting with the AI, and then they discovered that the AI is giving wrong answers, and then they come here and they give more actions here. Forms, like we now have one form. It actually created this form. We can take a look at the form what it created. It's just so basically listener feedback form. It even like created these like episodes. Like you can customize this form, right? And I see some admin options here, but you can customize this form and just make it more suitable to you. And as soon as you customize these like episodes, that you will be able to actually the AI agents is also going to be updated with the new information. That's one of the things that is great about it. It's actually like synced with the form as well. Like it can fill out this form by asking the questions, and you can customize the form whenever you want. And you can add more forms here. And this is my favorite section. So basically, do you remember how we
Mm-hmm.
added this action? You can actually
Correct.
do it here as well. Like you are basically like talking to your AI agent, and you're actually giving it instructions here as
Oh,
well.
wow.
Like
Okay. So this is a
um,
section called Teach Your Agent for those on the
yeah,
audio podcast.
if someone wants to, if someone is excited about the podcast, ask them uh, to review us on Apple. So
Mm-hmm.
it will probably create an action very similar to the action I just created there. Let's see what's gonna do. Like this is too experimental. We are still working on the performance. Sometimes it's low, but
Sure.
yeah, it actually added the same action that we
Oh
were
yeah,
talking
it
about.
says new action needed, and then when user sentiment excited, mention please review us on Apple
So
Podcasts.
we
Wow,
probably
that's cool.
now have like a double action. Let's see, and it's
And it
probably okay
did.
because yeah, and it created the exact same one I created. So that's interesting because it's just this is one of them is like just created by me manually, and the
Mhm.
other one is just created by the AI, and it just did the exact same action. And that's very interesting. And so we did train it. Let's go and let's try it now.
Mhm.
So the publish tab, like we saw the design tab, that's more for the
Yep.
visual elements. The train tab is more about like the way the AI agent behaves and answers.
Yeah.
And the publish is more about like how you use your agent, right? You can embed it on your website. You can turn it into your phone. You can actually create a mobile app from it and share
Mhm.
that with people. Um, so let's just use it directly. We can get the link here. So here we are. Again, some admin stuff. Yeah, Podcast Pete is asking us, "Hello, I'm Podcast Pete, your friend, the AI assistant here to help you with any questions or feedback regarding the podcast. How can I help you?" Yeah, I just listened to the first episode.
Mhm.
Right, it was great. Um, let's see if it's gonna take our action. Okay. It didn't actually. It didn't actually offer that Apple podcast. That
Podcast.
was
Yeah.
what I was expecting.
Yep.
Um, let's see what I allowed it. Let's see if I can actually get it to do that. No, it actually wants
It's
me
trying
to
to get us
actually
to fill out the
fill out the
form.
form
Yeah.
first. Yeah, sure. Um, so it's gonna ask me questions. From the form, it says like it's gonna take like 5 minutes. I'm gonna actually try something.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna delete one of the like because we had two. Maybe it's just having some conflict. I'm just gonna delete one of them.
Mhm.
Maybe it will help us. Um, so I was really excited about the podcast. Um, yeah, let's see. No, it's actually I didn't get that. So um,
I think it's just probably because at the beginning of the process,
yeah, it
it may
asked
just want
my
you to fill
full
out the
name.
form.
Uh, maybe I would just fix my full name. My name is Aytekin.
And what's really cool I'm seeing in the AI pod
Hmm.
is that actually the form shows a percentage completed on the bottom right, and you could
Yeah,
open the form and do it manually. But what's really cool about this is, I can't stand filling out forms like the manual way. It asking me in a conversational format like, "Hey, what's your name? What's your email address?" As if I'm talking to somebody is a lot more palatable to me.
yeah. I can show you that. When you click on open form, you're actually seeing the form, how it's filling the form.
Yep.
This is
Hmm.
actually very useful because AI might have problems like really understanding your questions. Maybe you want to check on the form, like just make sure that the questions are answered and just correctly. and it's getting your answers correctly. If you want to continue with just filling out the form directly, you can also do that. Yeah, let's give it my email address. Let's see. How did I hear about it? I heard it from a friend
Heard about it
myself.
from a friend. That's
Yeah.
funny.
So here's the thing. We could actually edit these questions as well.
Sure.
I'm gonna maybe I will do that later. Just I will answer them right now. But
Hmm.
yeah, introduction to AI, and I loved it. 5 stars, hopefully. Yeah. Uh, um, it was. I loved the demo. Yeah. So as you see, if you compare it to the form
Yeah.
is kind of boring. But chat is like much more conversational. It's easier to just fill out the form.
Yeah.
Uh, Great to hear. What could we improve for the future episodes? Yeah, I mean, it's just, I guess, we are going to get better as we do this. Like, this is just the first episodes, but yeah, what can we improve? What do you think?
That's a good question. I think we could probably we can improve by adding other people to the podcast, like not
Yeah.
simply it just being us, simply adding guests.
Love it. AI agents, agent news, maybe have
Yeah, what
founders.
topics would be like? Yeah, agent news and founders.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely.
Would you recommend the podcast? Of course we would. Any additional comments? And you can actually skip some questions that are not required on the list.
Mm-hmm. And
So if
now
there
I'm
were,
gonna actually try that before I review and submit. I'm gonna try that. I loved the podcast so much. Let's see if that fixed it. Like having the double action. Um, no.
I think they really want you to submit the form.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and submit it.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
I
Yeah, I think.
loved it so much. I'm excited about it. Let's see.
Yes,
Yeah.
there we go. So
Okay.
we had to, I think
Love it.
the issue was that we had to fill out the form, but
Yeah.
as it shows on the screen
So
now, it's asking us to.
what's happening is that I can talk about the internals.
Sure.
Basically, now I recognize what's happening is that actually AI agents have more agents internally. So we have like these
Mm,
form builder agents, we have these conversational agents. So it's kind of at the point like I think this is something we are gonna fix, but
sure.
sometimes it's just like it have trouble like context switching between different agents. So basically, because it was in this mode to like fill out the form, it didn't want to get distracted. It didn't want to like just uh, do that action. But as soon as we completed the form, that action it started like applying that action at that point. Yeah, that's actually
Yeah.
what happened.
And that makes sense. I feel like with those applications,
Yeah.
there's always some improvement there. And I was as I noticed you were really trying. I'm like, there's got to be. I'm like, it's got to just be that it won't switch to allowing actions until you finish the form because it really wants you to finish the form. So that makes sense. Well, I think this is a good explanation and overview. Like, I have some other questions for sure about the product moving forward because this gave a good rundown. I think for the current features, but I am curious, like when it comes to this application, we have a lot of different use cases. Obviously, we talked about e-commerce for some people. We talked about, other use cases, but I am curious, what kinds of innovative use cases have you seen so far from like the beta users?
One of the common ways people use this is just because like we open this to Jotform users and because they have forms, people actually replace their forms with these conversational AI agents. And so that's one thing that is very common. And another common usage we saw is like that people just train their agents and they put it on their website as a chatbot and get people to like converse with it. We've seen people actually use it in sales, like j- because it can like you can actually give it instructions to become like a salesperson, you know, provide answers to their question, and try to be helpful and try to get them to like to see the value in the product. So um you know like one of the users was actually kind of using it as a help them while they are on sales calls, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
basically they are on the sales call, and they open their AI agents themselves as opposed to giving it to their users. And then just when someone asks a question, they ask that question to the AI agent as well, and then get answers, and then provide those answers back to the customer, which is really useful because the goal was like, they have these like entry level, like junior salespeople, and they don't know all the answers, and they basically, add all this knowledge base, and they're able to get their questions answered directly. And the junior sales agent who doesn't know answer to every like little
Question, yeah.
detail is able to ask the AI agent, get the answer, and then provide that answer to the customer on the other hand. And they can also fill out the form while they are doing that and make sure that they don't forget any of the questions on the form. So it's just like there's just like so many ways people use AI agents.
That's really cool. I think I've never um I've never been so fortunate to live in a time when if I didn't know the answers to the questions, I could just cheat on a sales call with an AI agent. So I think that's it's not cheating if everyone's able to use a great product universally. And I think this is great for. I think this is great for a lot of different reasons. I know people who work at companies where they just simply want to ask basic questions about like how the company operates. Like how does certain processes work for like putting in PTO, the different types of things that would relate to just basic HR questions. And it's probably so much better that they would simply, ask an AI rather than taking up resources of somebody's time. Because if these are all put in documentation across the company, that's a similar example of the person doesn't know, they would just ask. So I think there's so many use cases that we could obviously talk about, but
This
I
actually
love,
reminds me that I want to show you something else.
sure. Yeah.
Let's go back to podcast Pete,
Hey, what's up, Podcast Pete?
and I want to show you this agent app feature. So
Agent app.
in the example you gave, like
Uh-huh.
if this was an HR app or like a company internal app,
Yeah, exactly.
basically you could give all that knowledge about like company policies, things like that, and you could also install all the forms that you give to your employees, and then you can just give them this app. And the great thing about this
Oh,
app
okay.
is people can actually install this app on their phone, and they can just
Really?
access this agent directly from their phone. And we haven't implemented the conversation mod yet, but on the app, but it's going to come out before we release the product. But basically, like you can just have these conversations with the AI agent on your phone and ask those questions, maybe fill out those HR forms. So this is a great way for if you want to like create this documentation, like just this question and answer knowledge base for within your company, or if you want to give something for your clients that they can access and they can ask their questions. This is a very useful way for you to use AI agents.
Question. How does that install on their phone? Is it like a PWA
Yeah,
app or?
it's a
Okay.
PWA, and
Okay. Very cool.
we had PWA for a very long time. with Jotform apps. You can basically build these mobile apps with Jotform apps, and it can even you can even have these like instant notifications. You can send notifications to the users. It's just like any other mobile app, but people don't install it by going to the Apple Store, but they install it, when you give them a link, or if they
Sure.
click on something on your website, uh, and then they can just install it on their mobile phones, and then they can click on it to get access to the AI agents.
And then how would it work on desktop in the same way? Is it just simply like you would, I mean, you can use the
It's
app
the
like as a,
exact same way. You can
yeah,
actually install an icon on your desktop.
exactly.
Yeah, just on your bar, as well. If you're using like Apple or Windows, like as a shortcut, you can add as a shortcut icon to your
Yeah.
computer and
Yeah.
quickly.
Like how, I mean, Google Calendar and Google Meet, etc. They don't have actual applications, but you can just install quote unquote a shortcut that opens as a window, and then it kind of pretty much operates as a application. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Cool.
What's great about it is like you can customize it. You can customize the icon and make it your own, and it just you have your own, ChatGPT for your customers. Like basically, you have your own chat AI assistant that you can give it to your customers or your employees, and it's very easy to use.
Yeah, that's very smart. I think something that I've noticed with a lot of these different AI agent applications that they actually don't have any application installations or anything like that. So this is a definite upgrade from other ones, because if it can work as its standalone application, that's going to be great for anybody, because then they can just open it up, interact with it. I feel like unlike with, your general chat GPT or whatever, it is going to be more specific, so they can ask those questions and feel comfortable asking the AHR questions in that way. And I'm very excited to try it out more for myself.
And the great thing is like you can actually it doesn't just answer all these like generic answers. It's
Yeah.
just kind of limited to your own questions, your own knowledge base. It doesn't go out and just give all these, ChatGPT like random answers. You can
Yeah.
keep it, uh, just separated
Specific.
from everything else. Yeah, I think that's one of the great things about it.
And that's what people probably want. I don't think they want the randomness. It's not beneficial to anybody to have a bot specifically for the HR department, and then they tell you some random what's the term, phantom answers. And I'm sure you're familiar with this with AI. That
Yeah.
has it's had it earlier on probably sullied everybody's opinion of AI a little bit. The phantom responses, where it was giving answers that were non-existent in reality. So that was concerning, but this seems to be just more focused, so it wouldn't have that problem.
It was also called hallucinations.
Hallucination, that was it. I
Yeah.
used a different term. Yeah. Hallucinations. Yeah. Hallucinations is an accurate way to describe it. They were hallucinating with some of the responses early on, but not a problem here. I guess just to wrap things up, I did have one more question about the product itself, and it's not where it's at now, but where you kind of see it in the future. What is the uh, final form, so to speak, that you envision this app having? Is there anything specific that comes to mind that it doesn't have now that you definitely want it to have?
I mean, our like product philosophy is to just release early and often, to like better customers and learn from them. And yeah, even today, like we are actually like watching what's going on with our beta users, like what kind of problems are there. Like we are getting all this feedback from our users, and then we are actually defining our feature plans by looking at like how they use the product and what they needed. And that's actually one of the reasons we had that like this boss chat that I call like that you can just talk to your agent
Sure.
as opposed to other people. And what's happening there is like people are actually describing exactly what they want the agent to do, and that's actually our product like roadmap. Like people are asking for something, and then we are actually adding that to the product, and that's
Yeah.
actually how we kind of go with it. And that's and we stay flexible, and we just ask for our users, and that's actually an approach that I love. that we are actually following that here. And many of the things that we implemented came out from our users requesting them. But in general, I think that the AI agents are the future. So if you look at the history, um, before like web, like SaaS products, before web apps, people were using this software that you installed in your computer. Like we still have software, but you
Yeah.
just install a browser and then we access everything with the browser, right? So you don't use many software these days. Like in the past, like
Yeah.
if you wanted to do something, you had to install a software for it, and the web pages were just like these informational text-based,
Yeah.
places.
Definitely different now.
And then like these with like the JavaScript and like just all these programming languages, frameworks allow people to kind of start building these products within browser, and then that actually took over, and everything became kind of web based, and this made it much more easier to develop software and much more easier for you people to use software because you don't have to install anything. You just go to a website and use it, right? So I
Yeah.
think something similar is happening here with the AI agents, just like the fast like revolution. um, AI agents revolution is coming, and AI agents are going to be like, we are going to be kind of using AI agents for everything. And so there's going to be all these like vertical AI agents that you use for everything, like either for a vertical, like let's say healthcare, or for teachers, or like for use cases, like specific use cases. And I think
Yes.
there's going to be this big boom with AI agents. And so this is so exciting for us because at Jotform, we are like this, we have always been this horizontal product that like people actually create all these their own solutions, their own forms themselves. And I feel like we could be that for AI agents as well. Like just allow people to build their own AI agents, give them personality, allow them to share them, like just kind of bridging this, all the power of AI with the potential applications for AI. So it's kind of the no code philosophy of like allowing people to build their own solutions, and that's how I see the future. Just AI agents, custom AI agents. People can build using just from AI agents, and we'll go from there. It's a very exciting feature.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome. The last question I was going to ask was like where you guys see yourself, or where we see ourselves moving forward. But you actually covered off on that, and what I mean by that is like where you envision yourself sitting in the market, so to speak. There's a lot of opportunity here. What I found very intriguing about it is that very early on, you've nailed on the aesthetic, I think, and you've nailed on the fact that you have like form integrations very naturally, and you have the knowledge bases and actions. There's a lot of products already actually out in the, I wouldn't even call them AI agents, but they're similar, like AI chatbot space, like for like website knowledge and stuff. But what you've managed to do is actually create a product that could do both like immediately. And I don't think there's actually anyone else that what I've seen has had nailed on the aesthetic and the quality. So I'm very excited to see where this goes, and we're excited to document this as we talk through this on the journey of this podcast moving forward.
That's exactly what we are going to do. We're not just going to talk about AI agents, just from AI agents product, but we are going to talk about different uh, different products as well, because like I also learn from them, and just that experience helps us build a better product. But there is also like different products that are different uh, functionalities. They are good for different things. So I think there's going to be like thousands of AI agent products on the market, and it's a good thing. It's going to allow people to kind of get used to using AI agents, and so it's great to feature them as well. And there's a lot of news about AI agents. Just ChatGPT, OpenAI is coming out with this new AI agent, like a computer use, I think in January. And
Nice.
there's just like so many things. Microsoft just came out with these AI agents recently that do a lot of things. So there's just like so many exciting topics that we are gonna cover in this podcast. So I'm already excited about the future episodes.
Yeah, me too. And we're gonna talk about those different topics with each other as well as with other founders and CEOs of SaaS companies as well. So with that being said, we appreciate all of you for coming here to the first episode of the AI Agents podcast. Thank you so much for watching / listening, and we will see you in the next one.
See you next
Bye.
next time.